morning, Instagram. How are you? Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is Kelly, and I am here to teach you your hour-long yoga flow. So you guys know that Mystic Fitness goes live on Facebook and Instagram every single morning at 9 a.m. without fail. And even if we do encounter some technical difficulties, we are 100% dedicated to getting you that live video. So if it's not on right at 9 o'clock, stay posted, keep refreshing your page, and I assure you that we will be up and running. So as you guys know, we are taking donations through our Venmo account. Mystic Fitness is our username. And you don't have to make a donation to enjoy these classes, but if you are in the financial situation and you feel moved to make a donation, you can go to Mystic Fitness Venmo and make whatever size donation you like, and you're going to receive these amazing handmade masks. One of our very own instructors, Mary Beth, has been so hard at work providing the community with these masks, and we're so happy that we were able to link up with her so that we could provide our little community with masks as well. And they are reusable, so if you go to the grocery store and you use it, throw it in the wash, or some people even have been putting it in the oven at a low degree because that will kill off any germs as well. Good morning, Charlie. Thank you guys, or I should say Tillits, because I believe it's both of you guys, so thank you for tuning in. We're also up and running on our YouTube channel. So YouTube is a great way to be able to engage in our content without kind of having a social media presence. Good morning, Kate. So if you have family members that want to participate in yoga but don't really enjoy Facebook or Instagram, you can send them to YouTube, and they will be able to access our content for free there. And if they like our videos, you can tell them to give us a thumbs up and all that jazz. And yeah, I think that's all of my announcements. So as you guys are kind of tuning in, if you have any requests for postures this morning, go ahead and type it in. A couple days ago, we had Marty wanted to talk about our flip dog, so we went over that. Yesterday, we had Tom request a dancer pose. So if there's any posture that you're just dying to kind of get into, let me know. I love the inspiration. And thank you guys for saying good morning. So we'll go ahead and get started. Find your way into a comfortable position, either seated or laying down, using a pillow underneath you. Taking a full breath in and letting it go. Taking these deep breaths in and out to kind of allow your senses to arrive within this space. And this process of arriving doesn't have to just be done for your yoga class. And one of the things that I've kind of regimented into my life has been taking a moment before I eat a meal to breathe and just really connect to this moment. Before going on a bike ride or before bed, giving thanks and showing gratitude for all of the luxuries that we have in our life. And it's the intention that really establishes you within the present moment. This morning, I'd like you to ponder on a quote that I stumbled upon by Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle. It is through gratitude for the present moment that the spiritual dimension of life opens up. It is through gratitude for the present moment that the spiritual dimension of life opens up. And I encourage you to let those words kind of bounce around in the mind. Maybe it resonates with you and perhaps it doesn't. And as you take your next inhale, slowly start to reawaken your body, maybe inviting some gentle movement through the fingers and toes, rolling up the wrists, rocking the head from side to side. Wherever you are, bringing yourself back into your seat and rubbing the palms together, waking up the nerve endings of the hands and creating a little bit of this warmth. And taking those hands and placing them over your heart. And taking this moment to show gratitude for the present moment. Allowing the spiritual dimension of life to open up. We'll begin our practice with the sound of Om, starting with a cleansing breath. Breathe in and out. And for Om, inhale. Have a healthy practice, everyone. We're going to go ahead and transition into our table pose. So find yourself in your table position. Allow the wrists to stack below the shoulders, knees below the hips. And just start with some cat and cows. So with the inhale, dropping the chest, gazing forward. This is your cow pose. And with the exhale, curling and rounding into your cat pose. Inhale, open and arch, creating space within the chest, throat, and vertebra of the spine. And your exhales as you're curling and really pressing the floor away. You may even pause here for a moment and shake the head, yes and no. Finding these movements throughout the spine. So these are all natural ranges of motion that your spine can take. Eventually, your body is going to kind of crave some more organic movements that might include rocking the hips side to side or finding some nice big opening circles throughout the hips. Keep that breath, your anchor within this movement. In this first portion of our class, we're kind of connecting to the dialogue that happens between breath and sensation. So usually throughout our days, we're kind of tuning into the dialogue of the mind. But this practice allows us to kind of connect to the dialogue that happens without words, without thought. And it's simply sensation. And that means, what are you experiencing through the hips, from the fingertips all the way to the toes, shoulders, even the expression of the face. And then eventually we will, I'm going to switch my position here so you guys can see. We're going to drop the right forearm onto the ground, and then we're going to find some circles throughout that left leg. So we're just kind of finding these open movements. You can bend and extend through that left leg, using the left hand as a kickstand to kind of keep that chest a little open, creating some space for the left leg to bend and extend and rotate. Taking that in the opposite direction. And then keeping that leg in a 90-degree angle, we're going to open up the left knee out towards the left and kind of hover it here. To make this more challenging, you can kick that left leg straight. Inhale to keep it here. With the exhale, lowering the leg to just a hover. So if the leg is extended, the toes will lower to a hover. And if the knee is bent, we'll just drop that knee down to a hover. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, drop it down to a hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If that left leg isn't kicked out, go ahead and kick it out, and then land left foot to the back of your mat, propping yourself back up onto the palms, and then just taking some back and forth presses. So we're kind of in this half child's pose here, sinking our way down and opening up that left hip and then pressing forward. Finding these movements here a couple times. And along the way, you might kind of notice a spot that feels extra delicious to kind of hold there. Coming back to a neutral place here and then lifting the chest up, but keeping that left leg extended. So now we're in this gate-like pose. Inhale, arm circle, sweep up. And then just out to rotate those wrists a little bit, give them a little love, open and close the hands. And thank you guys all for joining us for this yoga flow. I hope you guys are on your mats, exploring some movement. Go ahead and shake those wrists out. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. Then with the exhale, dropping left fingertips down, finding a side stretch on the right side body, but trying to relax both shoulders down away from the ears. Breathe in to come off of your edge just a touch. And then with the exhale, deepen through that side bend. Last breath here. Inhale to soften. Exhale to stretch. Coming back to center, opening the arms up into a T, and then dropping right fingertips onto the ground. Now from here, that left leg can lift, and you can rotate the ankle and wrist again here. Dropping the left foot back to the mat. Let's find some big circles throughout that left shoulder. So imagining as if you're kind of strumming this really big guitar. And it might feel nice to have the fingertips kind of follow the sight kind of follow the left fingertips. Taking that in the opposite rotation. And you guys should be feeling a nice long stretch from the left foot all the way to left fingertips. Eventually reaching the fingertips overhead, finding this nice opening, pressing the hips forward. With the exhale, using your abdominal strength to lift your way back up. Arms reach with the inhale. Exhale, landing back into your table pose. Taking any little movements that kind of recalibrate your spine. Notice how the left side feels pretty drastically different than the right side. Let's go ahead and even that out, this time dropping the left forearm onto the earth, using that right hand as a kickstand. And then rotating through the right leg, creating some nice big sweeping circles. You can bend and extend at the knee as you kick back and around. Maybe noticing some popping or cracking sensations through the hip. And that's totally natural here, as long as there's no bad pain. Taking that in the opposite direction, changing the rotation. We're also kind of incorporating some movement through the lower back here as you find these circles. And then we'll come into that strong engagement. So I want you to keep a 90-degree angle in that left leg and right leg, and open up the right knee out to the right. So to make this movement more challenging, you can kick that leg out. We're going to find those toe taps 8 times here. 8, 7, 6. Again, you can always take this with a bent knee. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting that leg back up. If the right leg is not extended, go ahead and kick it out and let it land to the right edge of your mat, finding some back and forth presses here. So it might be nice to kind of prop back up onto your palms, or you can stay on the forearms if you like. And we're just kind of finding this movement through a half child's pose here. So you're going to find a pretty deep opening through the right hip, as well as kind of accessing the hamstrings here. And the same way we did it on the other side, you might find a little sweet spot where you want to hold for your last breath. Coming back to a neutral spine, halfway lift, and then picking yourself up, keeping that right leg extended, both arms circle up, and then let's just roll those wrists out one last time here. Open and close the hands really fast, like you're flicking water droplets off of your fingertips. And then give them a nice good shake out. Inhale, both arms reach up. With the exhale, right fingertips drop. This time we're finding that side stretch through the left side, but trying to keep the shoulders nice and relaxed here. Your inhale is coming off of your edge. Exhale is deepening into that stretch. Last one here. Try to keep that chest nice and lifted. Exhale, bend. Inhale, back to center. Open your arms up into a T. With the exhale, let the left fingertips reach to the ground. You can pick the right leg up, rotate in the ankle and wrist here. Bringing the right foot back down onto the earth, and then finding some nice big sweeping circles through the right arm. Gaze can follow over right fingertips to kind of get the neck incorporated in these movements. We're unwinding the connective tissue within the shoulder, kind of getting rid of that hunching that we can kind of tend to fall into when we're looking at our computers or screens, taking that rotation in the opposite direction. And then finding that beautiful side stretch by reaching the right fingertips up over your head. So we're finding this deep stretch from the right foot all the way to right fingertips, pressing the hips forward. Using your abdominal connection to slowly lift yourself back up. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, returning back into your table pose, and then sinking back into your child's pose for 2 breaths here. If you'd like to get a stretch in the hips, you're going to spread the knees farther apart from one another. And if you're looking for more of a rounded spine, you're going to bring those knees close to one another. Take one more full breath in, sinking creatively into this moment. Returning back to your table pose. Spreading the fingers wide into the earth so that the palms are actively pressing into the ground. Tuck the toes under and lift the hips up and back for your downward facing dog. Start to pedal your dog here, bending and extending through the legs, lifting one heel off of the ground at a time. Warming up through our hamstrings here and allowing our shoulders to roll down and away from the ears. So we don't want to be crunching any part of the neck. We want the neck to be a natural, long extension of the spine. You can even shake the head yes and no a couple times to really unwind all of that tension held within the shoulders and neck. And then to fire our way up into our practice, we're going to find some back and forth presses, but we'll take them nice and slow. So with the inhale, we're dropping the knees to a hover. This is our bent knee dog, hips pull up and back. With the exhale, launching forward to your plank, but make sure those shoulders don't go past the wrists. Inhale, nice and slow, pull the hips up and back, bent knee dog. Exhale, plank pose. So the slower we take this, the more we can connect to those subtle muscles that are turning on to make this movement happen. So sometimes in class we take things fast, but sometimes we take things slow so we can really feel each muscle working, and sometimes that's more difficult than going fast. Take one more here, pressing it back with the inhale. Exhale to your plank pose, holding here. Breathe in, breathe out. Lowering the knees to the ground, we're going to find 5 little yogi push-ups here. So they're going to look like this. As you lower your chest, the elbows point back rather than out. Find that halfway lift, and then exhale, press yourself up. So that was 1. Let's do 4 more here. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 3. You got this. We're really using those triceps here. Last 2. And 1. This time we're going to lower all the way down to the ground. Find our low cobra as we engage the shoulder blades towards one another. Peel that chest up. Gaze is towards the ground. Inhale. And exhale, release. Making your way back to your table pose. Tucking toes under. Downward facing dog. Now let's run through a little bit faster. We're going to go through a sun salutation with the inhale, bending the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up, grow nice and tall. With the exhale, bring your hands to your heart and ground down here. Press those feet into the earth. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Find that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, hands plant, stepping or hopping back to your plank pose. Choosing which version of chaturanga works best for you here. You can keep those knees lifted or drop them. Inhale. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, up dog or that beautiful low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hips pull up and back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, right leg sweeps up to the sky. Exhale, pull the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, reach right leg back up. With the exhale, pull right knee towards left elbow. Inhale, extend that leg back up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Last big sweep, stay with it. Exhale, right foot comes towards right hand for your runner's lunge. In your runner's lunge, you can find blocks underneath the hands here to make this a little bit more accessible for the body. We're trying to keep that chest kind of lifted up off of the right thigh so that you're not kind of dumping all of your weight down. Feet are hip distance apart. Right heel is grounded down. Bringing the left fingertips onto your block and opening up slowly into your twist to the right. So we want to go slowly because we want to make sure that that left hip isn't coming for the twist with you. We want that left hip to stay in line with right hip. So bring that attention to the left rib cage, twisting over towards the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more breaths here. Really feel the little bit of challenge that's building within the legs. You are worthy of that challenge. Last breath here. Coming back to center. And then we're going to dial the left heel down. But instead of opening to our warrior 2, we're going to open to our warrior 1. So go ahead and lift your chest. We'll break this down together. In your warrior 1, it's more like a crescent lunge, but this time the back heel is on the earth. So you might have to open your stance quite a bit if you need to look in the monitor. You might need to open your feet a little bit more than hip distance apart so that those hips can stay turned towards the front of your room. The left toes are turned to face the upper left corner of your mat. Inhale, arms circle sweep up. And then with the exhale, lower the hands down towards the lower back, either interlacing here or just simply placing them on your sacrum. The inhale is a peeling open. Maybe that gaze lifts up to the sky. Hinging forward, leading with your chin. And then your exhale, you're going to pull that chin in towards the chest and slowly roll back up. Taking the same progression here, inhale, open up, diving forward, and pulling it all the way back up. So these are called your humble warrior one flows here. And if you notice your balance is a little rocky, you might need to spread those feet a little bit wider apart from one another. So our legs are planted into the earth, strengthening, where our upper body is more fluid. Find one more full round here of your humble warrior. Inhale, arms reach up, find your warrior one with the chest lifted. And then with the exhale, hinging forward, hands plant, stepping right foot back to meet left in a plank pose. Breathe in. And with the exhale, slowly lower to your chaturanga, whatever that looks like for your body, eventually opening your chest in a low cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. With the exhale, pull the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, sweep it back up. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Last big sweep. And exhale, that left foot plants to your runner's lunge. Bringing blocks underneath the hands here is a beautiful technique to really set up in this posture. Making sure those feet are hip distance apart, pressing the left foot into the ground. Keeping right fingertips on your block, slowly open up to your twist towards the left. So again, we're doing this nice and slowly so that we can really keep that right hip level. That twist is coming from the right rib cage, rotating over towards the left. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel a little bit of that struggle through your legs. That's where the strengthening comes in. Last breath. With the exhale, coming back to center, finding our warrior one as you peel the chest up and dial that right heel down. Turning to face the right toes over to the top corner of your mat, the top right corner. So we're keeping a bend in that front knee here, making sure the hips have enough room to stay level towards the front. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And with the exhale, bringing the hands to the lower back, either interlacing them here or simply placing them on top of your sacrum. So our inhale is an opening and gazing forward. Diving, and exhale, tucking the chin and rolling our spine back to the beginning. Inhale, open it up, dive forward, and pull it back. We'll find 3 more here. Really letting this motion unwind the vertebra of the spine. And we're strengthening through the legs, but we're finding a little bit of a distracting fluidity in the upper body here. As your last round comes, let it complete all the way back up to the top. Inhale, arms release, reach them up to the sky. And then with the exhale, hinging forward, planting your hands down. Stepping the left foot back to meet right, plank pose. We're going to pause here for a moment, dial the heels over towards the right, open up to a side plank so that left arm reaches up for the sky. In this posture, if this is too intense, you can drop that right knee to the ground, finding a supported side plank. Wherever you are, we're pressing those hips up towards the sky. Last breath here. With the exhale, coming to your center plank. Breathe in. Exhale, dial the hips over towards the left. Open that right arm up for your side plank. Again, that left knee can drop. Wherever you are, press those hips up. Breathe in. Exhale, coming back to center. Hold that center plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chaturanga. Really follow through with that chaturanga. Make it strong. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Well, that got me a little sweaty now. So now that we have a little bit of heat, I'd like to kind of introduce you guys to another little thing that I like to do in my classes. So if you need to kind of pause and take a look in the monitor, you can. So similar to how we took those back and forth presses, finding that bent knee dog and then a plank pose, we can also take this into some little hops, which are kind of fun, kind of scary. So if they're a little scary for you, you can kind of take a look and just play around. But to do those hops, you're going to walk the feet a little bit closer towards your feet, towards your hand. Inhale to your bent knee dog, and then with the exhale, taking a little hop and landing softly with bent knees. So inhale, find that bent knee dog, prepare your little spring, and then with the exhale, taking a little hop and landing. Now, if this is your first time doing this, it might look a little something like this, kind of finding that bent knee dog and then reaching up onto your tippy toes. So you're not really going for a full hop yet. You're just kind of finding this movement of coming up onto the tippy toes, getting those hips up towards the shoulders. I'm going to do one more little hop so you guys can have a little demonstration here. Inhale, bent knee dog. And with the exhale, hopping and landing softly. Eventually let those knees drop. Find a quick little child's pose here. Maybe grab a drink of water. And those hops are super valuable if you're ever trying to land a bent knee dog hop forward for our sun salutation. They definitely get the heart pumping. And it kind of lets our fear kind of arise, because you do get a little intimidated by trying something new, or maybe trying something where our feet are not on the ground. And you just kind of realize that it's okay if you don't do it. It's okay if you try it and it looks silly. This is part of the learning experience. Part of our practice is kind of opening ourselves up to new things like that. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, inhale and exhale. Coming back to your table pose, tucking the toes under, finding your downward facing dog. So if you liked those hops, now we can utilize them to bring our feet up to our hands. So inhale, bent knee dog, gaze forward. And with the exhale, you can walk, or you can find that little hop forward, landing nice and soft. Take a deep bend here. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart, grounding down here. So I want you to pick up the toes, flare them, and place them back onto the earth. We're going to come into our chair pose. So the magic word of the day is making sure those feet are hip distance apart. And I want you to kind of have the same activity in your feet, almost like you're opening a jar of olives or maybe palming a basketball. So those feet are hugging the earth. They're not just standing there like blocks. Inhale, arms reach up. And then with the exhale, bring the hands towards your heart as you sit down into your chair pose. So in your chair pose, we're kind of transferring a little bit more of the weight into the heels of the feet. And we're trying to maintain a nice level spine here. So we don't want a super arch or a super curl. We want to keep that hips tucked below us. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, chair. In and out. To bump this up a notch, as you rise, you might come up onto the tippy toes and then land back in your chair. Inhale, exhale. 10, 9, feel that warmth building. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, make the last ones the best one yet. 3, 2, 1. Landing in your chair pose, hold here. Open up the arms into a T, and then take right arm underneath left, finding your eagle arms. So you can either grab onto the shoulders or find that full wrap. Starting to transfer the weight into the right leg as you pick left leg up and over for your eagle posture. Keep that breath nice and stable. Trying to make sure that those knees are not rocking out to the right. Try to keep them tucked through the center. Breathe it in. Let it go. Last 2, stay with it. Inhale, arms, circle, sweep up. Release that left foot to the ground. Find a nice big stretch here. And with the exhale, sink back into that chair pose. Inhale, open your arms. And with the exhale, bring left arm underneath right, finding that full wrap or grabbing onto the shoulders. Starting to transfer the weight into left leg, picking right leg up and over. Now the importance of this pose is not getting that wrap with the legs, but trying to make sure those knees are coming towards the center. So we're getting a deep stretch through all of the joints. And when we release out of this pose, we'll get a flood of blood coming through our body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. And slowly start to come out of this. Right foot lands, arms reach up. And hinging from the hips, finding a forward fold here. Shaking the head, yes and no. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart. So come to the top of your mat if you're not already there. Make sure those feet are hip distance apart once again. We're going to pull the left knee up towards the chest, but using just our hip flexor strength here. Hold here. Then with the exhale, start to kick the left foot back. Find your warrior 3 posture. So that left leg is extended behind you, foot is flexed. To make this a little easier for your balance, you might interlace fingers on top of the right thigh and use that as a little shelf to press the chest forward. Breathe it in. With the exhale, left foot lands. Find your crescent lunge, arms reach up. Exhale, dip down, pull the elbows towards the rib cage. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip. Last one. Inhale, arms reach up. With the exhale, open up to your warrior 2. So that left heel dials down. Our stance is now opened up. Flip right palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And with the exhale, extend your warrior. One more full round like this. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, extend and hold. We'll be here for 3 breaths. So really press that right heel into the ground. Imagine there's a wall behind you and you're pressing your shoulders and hips equally into that wall. Last breath here. Returning back to your warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then with the exhale, we're going to cartwheel, hands down to your runner's lunge. Picking left foot up and landing it next to right. Forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart. Transfer the weight into left foot. Peel that right knee up towards the chest. Use your hip flexor strength. Flex that right foot. Breathe in. Exhale, hinging forward, kicking right foot back for your warrior three. Again, you can interlace hands on top of left thigh if this makes it a little bit more accessible for your body. Wherever you are, keep the hips level. Really flex through the glutes. Inhale. Exhale, lower to your crescent lunge. Arms reach up. And with the exhale, dip down. We'll take 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip. 2. And 1. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dial right heel down. Open up to your warrior 2. So we're finding that on the left side this time. Flip left palm, reverse your warrior, and exhale, extend your warrior. Last one here, inhale, reverse, exhale, extend, pause here for 3 breaths. Feel the left foot really pressing down into the mat, and that back edge of the right foot is also pressing back. Imagine that wall behind you. Once again, press the shoulders and hips into that wall, breathe in. And with the exhale, coming back to your warrior 2, flipping right palm or left palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheeling hands down to your runner's lunge. This time, stepping left foot back to meet right. Find your plank pose, breathe in. And with the exhale, slowly with the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let that chest land. One ear comes to the mat, arms come alongside of you. Take a nice deep breath. Feel your heart beat against the earth. Maybe you need to grab a drink of water. I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's because it's a little bit more of a warm day, but I am sweating. That practice really kicked my butt, and it's not over yet. Let's find a couple back strengtheners here. So let's find a low cobra to start. So bring the palms next to the chest, elbows tuck in towards the body. Shoelace sides of those feet really press into the earth. And those knees might even come off of the ground because your thigh muscles are so big and strong. Inhale, peel the chest up. Try to keep the gaze towards the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we're going to get a little funky here. I want you to reach the right fingertips forward and then pull them back and exchange so the left arms reach forward. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, left arm. So we're kind of like swimming almost on the floor. Just kind of incorporating some movement here. Try to keep that chin tucked. Extend one arm at a time. To make this a little bit more challenging, float the palms off of the ground completely. Keep that chest lifted. 5, 4, 3. Keep that gaze to the ground. 2, and 1. Release out of this posture. You can bring the forearms underneath the head, bend the knees, and windshield wiper side to side. This is a great way to unwind the lower back, all that connective tissue. Very low impact movement here. And let's find a quick quad stretch here. So lengthen the right leg down your mat. Bring the right forearm underneath the head. Grab hold of left foot or ankle. And start by lengthening that left knee towards the back of your mat. Sometimes for me, if I'm on hardwood or because I have kind of bony hips, I might even open myself up to the side. So if that's you, if you're finding a little bit of uncomfort through the hips, you can just rotate yourself out to the side. Kind of like you're hanging out at the beach. Release out of this, take it to the other side. So exchange those forearms. Bend right leg, grab onto foot or ankle, lengthen the knee towards the back of the mat. Find enough activity here through the leg where you can really feel that opening through your quad without overstretching, overworking here. And release out of this pose. Let's find our last back strengthener of the day. Now that we're really nice and warm, we can access this posture. So open the arms into goal post with the palms facing down. Keep the chin tucked so that your gaze is on the ground. Bending the knees into a 90-degree angle and flexing the feet. So we're coming into our skydiver posture. We're going to pulse for the first couple breaths and then hold. Inhale, lift the arms, chest, legs up off the ground so you're just on the soft part of your belly. Exhale, lower to a hover. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, lower. 3 more, fly. And lower. 2. And 1. This time, hold in your skydiver pose. Try to bring the shoulder blades towards one another. Spread the fingers wide. If you like your bow pose and you feel warmed up enough, you can grab onto the foot or ankles and kick feet into the hands, and hands pull the feet back towards the body. Breathe it in. Let it go. Hold for 2 more. Stay with it. Last one, full body stretch. And exhale, release. Hallelujah. Whew, you can bend those knees and windshield wiper from side to side. So that bow pose is a posture that I only like to come into when my body is really, really warmed up and I feel really open through my quads. No tension through the lower back. Beautiful. Let's pick ourselves up into our table pose. And then go ahead and sit back onto the heels. We're going to continue some movements through a seated posture. Start by lengthening both legs towards the front of your mat. We'll just find a nice forward fold. So if you like a forward fold with the legs extended in front of you, or if you like a forward fold in a wide-legged posture. So we didn't get into any wide-legged stuff this morning, so if you want to go there, that's beautiful too. So a couple options in your forward fold. It might not even be a fold at all. You might bring those fingertips towards the lower back and just kind of let your chest open. Or if you're looking for a deeper hamstring stretch, you can slowly start to hinge your way down. For me this morning, I'm going for my wide-legged fold because that's what I want to do. So wherever you are, just take care with yourself. Move nice and gently. Try not to overstretch. And yoga is about doing movements that prevent future injuries. So we don't want to overstretch ourselves because that's not really doing what we came here for. Take 2 more breaths. And slowly start to bring yourself back up. If the legs are open, you can bring them back in front of you. Bending both knees so that the soles of the feet are on the ground. You can bring the hands behind you as a little kickstand here. We're going to find a figure 4, so take the right ankle up and over left thigh. So this is going to look different for all of us because we all have different flexibility. So for you, it might feel more comfortable for you to just recline all the way down onto your backs. Or maybe place the fingertips behind the back as a little bit of a support for yourself. Now, if you do have pretty open hip flexors and you want to get deeper, you're going to walk the left heel closer to the body and use the hands to press your chest closer to the legs. Might also feel good here to kind of massage your glutes by rocking from side to side. So I'll show you guys a visual from the front here. Rocking side to side. So for me, I do have pretty open hip flexors, so I like to really prop myself up so that I can really get that stretch through the right hip flexor. But for you, this might be totally different, and you might want to just recline all the way down and find that typical figure four pose that we usually do. If you'd like to bump it up a notch, you might even kind of wrap your arms around the right leg, extend left leg long, and kind of hold your shin and calf like a little baby, maybe even rocking it from side to side. And we'll release out of this, take it to the other side. So now that you know what one side feels like, you can kind of come at this with a little bit more confidence. We'll take that left ankle over right thigh, and again, you can recline all the way down if you like, or prop yourself up and find a deeper stretch here. I like to start by finding a little wiggle left to right, massaging my glutes on the earth. And we're never looking for a strain in yoga. We're looking for a natural progression of movement that enhances each posture. And if you liked that deeper expression, you can kind of wrap your arms around the left shin, hold it like a little baby, extend the right leg long, maybe rock from side to side. Holding here for one more breath. And then we will release out of this posture. Extend the legs long. We're going to come onto our backs, but we're going to take one little last ab exercise here. So it's very simple. We're just going to open our arms up to the front and slowly, slowly, slowly for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Land, reach the arms up overhead, find a nice big stretch. And then pull right knee in towards the chest. Give yourself a squeeze here in this wind relieving posture. Perhaps rolling at the right ankle. And allowing this to take you into your twist. So dropping the right knee over towards the left side. A couple modifications that might feel lovely might be bringing a block or cushion underneath right knee so it's not just floating in midair. And that left leg can also bend if that feels better for you. Make sure we protect our lower back. You don't want to feel any pain in the lower back. If you are experiencing any pain, I want you to come off of your edge, bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the ground, and find a gentler twist here. Find 3 deep breaths. Coming back to center, pull right knee in towards the chest for one last squeeze. Exchanging the legs out, pulling left knee in towards the chest, lengthening right leg down your mat, perhaps rotating at the left ankle. Letting this carry you into your twist by letting the left leg drop over towards the right. And again, the same modifications can take place here as they did on the other side. 4 deep breaths here. Coming back to center and taking any last posture. Start by pulling that left knee in towards the chest for a moment. And then taking any last little movements here that feel good and carry you into your Shavasana. That might be a happy baby or a reclining bound angle. Once you've arrived into your final resting posture. Let a wave of breath come over you. It is through gratitude for the present moment that the spiritual dimension of life opens up. Let those words vibrate through you. How can you apply this to your personal life? Let me take that extra moment before practicing or before any task or pleasure. Taking that moment to show your gratitude. And the spiritual dimension of life will open up. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Shanti. And taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Slowly reawakening into the present moment, bringing your physical body back up into its meditative seat. Taking your time to arrive or choosing to remain exactly as you are. Bringing the hands over heart. showing gratitude for the present moment. And giving yourself permission to open up to the spiritual nature of life. We'll close our practice with the sound of Om, starting with a cleansing breath in and out. And for Om, inhale. Thank you all so much for being a part of each other's journey as well as mine. And the gratitude that resides within my heart bows to the gratitude within yours. Namaste. Thank you guys all so much for being a part of another live Mystic Fitness Flow. We love you guys. We love your constant support. And we're looking forward to seeing Debamitra tomorrow for a Friday Barkin series class. So we know you guys love it. We'll see you there. Namaste.